Testing, testing. Right. Hey. Welcome. Started a little bit earlier, just doing some testing to see how things are going, so just bear with me. Mic check, mic check. Does my audio sound alright? That sounds good. Just test it on my phone. Right. 1 second. Just gonna do some last bits of advertising. Right. Okay. I think I'm ready to start. So, bear with me. Hi, welcome. Oh, right. I was working on this before while I was waiting for a stream time to start. Yeah. Anyways, what I was planning to do today was just more of my Fractured Deity stuff. I've done a lot off screen since the last time I streamed, as you can see. But, yeah, I'll do more of that shortly. This stuff that I was working on was a diagram I did, just to show off, the black arms, in regards to the Expanse continuity. So I was just doing a bit of a write-up on my little notepad. So I'll do more on this later, because I want to just refine these little doodles a bit and just have it be more of a polished chart, just more for reference. But yeah, I'll do that later. What I was going to do today was just more on the Fractured Deities. So yeah, for those that were watching my stream last time, I was mostly working on these guys. So I did the line art and half applied flats, but in that time I've since fully defined the colors for the characters, as well as applied some small lighting just to make it look a bit more polished. But as well as that, off stream I've also done some other stuff. So I've got shards. I'll color them properly later. The totems, the little critters here. The fairies, we'll be tweaking those a little bit. Still got to do some cleanup. And oh yeah, and symbols for the Titans and Revenants, thanks to Evie here in the chat. Hi, welcome. So yeah, that's filling the empty space in the corner there. Now, other stuff I've done, like with, oh, that's right. No, that's right. No, the last stream wasn't this one. The last stream was when I was doing Dark Gaia stuff. So my original intention last time was to focus form by form, but last time I was focusing entirely on a single character. So for Dark Gaia, I did her Restrained Titan, so design similar to Void from Sonic Shuffle. Did I? No, I didn't do this one on stream. I did this one off stream, but Wraith form, so crystalline form similar to Mephiles from Sonic 06. These ones were actually done last night, so I'll talk about them in a second, but last time I did the Revenant forms, so the dead god forms of the deities. So this one's a Globe Splitter, which is the remnant energy from the deceased Dark Gaia. and then a nega form. So these forms are similar to Mother Wisp, which is what Mother Wisp represents in this the context of you know, her presence in the chart. And then I did the Titan, so the initial phase of Dark Gaia. Still yet to do the perfect form. Yeah, so I gotta mentally will myself to do the especially big guys, but I'll get to them eventually. But yeah. Oh yeah, last night. So last night I was just I was bored, so I was doing some Revenant stuff. So I did Elder Golem, Star Drainer, so Doom's Eye, which is what it's referred to in this context. Mother Wisp, and Time Eater, which I've gone the extra mile to make asymmetrical. So I started on the Ifrit, Founder Ifrit, and I'll finish off the rest of these ones as well, so I may focus on them today. But yeah, I'm just sort of chipping away at everything as I go along. I might do these ones as well, the negative forms of the Revenants. But we'll see how we go. Depends on how long it takes me to do these, because these big things take a little bit more time than, because these ones took literally no time at all, the totems and the fairies. Whereas these avatars, they took like 4 hours on stream. These probably won't take as long, the wraiths, but just depends on how detailed I go. I may also work on those. But yeah, that's the itinerary for today. I may, because like I keep saying I'll do the Titans because they are integral to the wider design methodology for the rest of the forms, but yeah, it's just a matter of mentally willing myself to do it. Anyways, I shall get started on these, so I'm going to be working on Ifrit, which I started a little bit there, but yeah, well, I'll see how I go. I'll just need to pull up some references. Anyways, how's everyone going today? Thank you all for popping in. Okay. I'm doing pretty well. Very relaxed Monday morning for me. It's my day off today, so yeah, I'm just thought I'd spend some time streaming while I've got a free minute. Let's see. I did something. Oh, Dark Guy. What did you do? And Dark Guy's reference form being a magical girl scepter is always that's so funny. Yeah. I wanted to. That's something with the nega forms. I wanted to contrast the tone between designs, based, similarly to how Mother Wisp is to nega Mother Wisp. But yeah, I wanted to apply the same sort of thing. So obviously, default Globe Splitter is kind of creepy looking, creepy little snake thing, and then the nega form is kind of cute. Elder Golem's a cute one, and then it turns into the nega Elder Golem. I want to soup this up a bit so it doesn't look like just a happy Star Drainer, but yeah, that looks cute. And then they got the cute little Time Eater. Ifrit's a bit strange because this one's supposed to be the cute one, according to the, you know, the layout of the good and bad halves. So I've just tried to make the nega form of the regular Ifrit look a bit more menacing, but also a bit more streamlined. So this should be very interesting to work on, I reckon. And you got the Wishmaker, and the creepy looking Wishmaker. I've tried to sort of give it the same sort of feel as the Time Eater, because the Wishmaker is supposed to sort of mirror the Time Eater in that sense, because Mephiles and Lumina are, you know, the representations of Solaris and Illumina, who are, you know, had a special bond in Expanse as primordials. And then you got Keeper Bogie and Mega Keeper Bogie, who's like a cute little moth. Yeah, actually that's something I'll do, because the Keeper Bogie I've designed to sort of have a similar sort of feel to the Ifrit, so once I've got the Ifrit done, I might apply some more detailing on the Keeper Bogie a little bit. So the Keeper Bogie is Void's, Voidos's Revenant form. Yeah, Ifrit is pretty based. It's actually pretty cool, because like so when I did these ones here, I just sort of haphazardly designed them just so that I can actually get something visibly down. But after looking more closely at references of Ifrit, it looks very, very different. So this is more design accurate to how he looks in the games, whereas this is this me just slapping something down. But yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment, just sort of eyeing down the references and trying to get it to look as accurate as I can. Speaking of, it's to be a bit longer. I'm gonna just cut off some. And there isn't. Yeah, see, that's the joy of referencing. I will probably try to do a bit more with Ifrit at some point in the near future, especially with the allusion to Ifrit in Gerald's journal from Shadow Generations. I would like to expand a little. Like, I already have ideas for how Gerald comes into contact with Ifrit, but those ideas were established pretty well before I started defining the whole fractured deity setup, my whole primordial hierarchy. So I'll play around with that a little bit more in the future. far so good. Not overly stressed about getting my line work good because I can't just want to get the design out and then I can clean it up afterwards, but I really just want to get to it. Like, Time Eater, it's very messy, especially with the gears. I have not put any care into it, but it looks like a Time Eater enough to at a glance, so that's the kind of thing I'm going for. Just rushing it. More like that. Actually thinking a lot about Black Bull recently. With his scene playing. Right, okay. Hi, Near Ex Machina, welcome. Hey, Shin, welcome. Hey, DP. Oh, forgot to unmute there. That's alright. I'm not saying much of value at the moment anyways. Unless you just really want to listen to the Shadow the Hedgehog OST. Although I did just mention about how Black Bull's theme is playing now, and I've been doing a little bit with giving him a little bit of focus recently. I re-uploaded a bit of Taurus art recently, and I was showing this off earlier, a chart I was doing, sort of detailing the black arms and the nature of Expanse. So Taurus is featured here. So yeah, this is a Black Bull, this guy. Yeah, I might work on this later if I lose the steam for my chart. I just want to, I'm not gonna do clean bits of art, but I'll throw some color on there, and I was doing a write-up of some text, so I've got 4 figures, 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are essentially 4 entirely separate black arms related ideas, but they're sort of structured in a way where they're a bit more coherent with each other. So, yeah, it's very fun. Different. Just gonna double check something. Because Right, okay. Need some of that magma-ish stuff here as well. I comment about how big that chart is, but you're you, so I'm not surprised. Yeah. So this chart's rather big, as is. I kind of want to. I like the format. I kind of like to have it as a poster. That'd be kind of fun. I actually, something I was thinking about the other day. 1 second, I'll pull it up. I want to show off. So the other day, as I was working on all those Dark Gaia forms. Experience. Yeah, so when I was working on all the Dark Gaia forms, I just to make it easier to show off the new stuff that I did, I aligned all the forms up just based on the single character. So these are all the Dark Gaia forms. You got the Shard, Totem, Avatar, Wraith. Oh yeah, I assembled them in a certain way. Anyways, seeing it this way, I feel like my chart would be a bit more cohesive and easier to understand if I aligned it by character rather than by form, and a lot more taking up less space. So I might at some stage do a variation where it's restructured based on that lineup instead of this. But for now, I'll keep it as is and do all my work this way, and then I'll once all the designs are done, I'll put them together in that fashion. So that way it's like 8 rows of 10 forms instead of 10 rows of 8. Right, what else am I missing here? Very cool. Thanks, Shin. Deep respect for computer for. Yeah, well, actually, every time I save, or and every now and again, it just sort of likes to do a backup save. It takes a significant amount of time to actually process. So what's the dimensions on this? 15,000 by 20,000 pixel scale. What kind of poster material would you want for that? I have no idea. I might need your help and Anna's help later at that point, but yeah, that's what I want to do. I would, oh yeah, actually the original intention of like from when I was doing this form stuff like a couple of years ago with the old iterations, what I originally wanted to do was make like a booklet of sorts. So I'll probably try to lean into that at some point. Like I wouldn't just do the front-facing stuff. I'd like to try to do individual designs, character designs, or character drawings of each design, and then have some information about each individual character. But that's going to be a lot more work for the future. So I'll be satisfied with just a poster for now. Yeah, Ifrit is it's very hard to find a very close reference image of it, because it's very varied between screenshots. Oh, that's a decent one. Right, okay. Oh yeah, the other chart is this one here, the black arms chart. So a lot of empty space, but I'm gonna fill it with text. Yeah, that's no big deal. I think. Also, sorry if I'm a bit quieter than usual. I was sick pretty recently, so my voice is still kind of recovering. Alright. Probably could make Ifrit's neck a little bit longer here, but I think for the sake of fitting into the chart, it should be fine-ish, maybe? No, I'm gonna make it a bit longer. That one there. Long neck. I'm really just making this up as I go, because I I really cannot find any cohesive references of this thing. That's good. Damn, late spring allergies. Probably. The weather's been kind of up and down lately, so that usually affects me quite a bit. So it's been it's been raining quite heavily lately, but at the same time it sort of spikes between becoming very hot, so those constant temperature flashes kind of knock me around a little bit. But yeah, no, it's yeah, definitely spring related, I reckon. Hi, Kitty Draws, welcome. Right. Guess the lower torso is. Yeah, I can set this a bit of plating. Apply that on the torso as well. Yeah. Yeah, I think that looks good. Expand that a bit. Oh, I like it. Oh, actually. That's okay. I like that. Right. Shoot. Why? You're literally right in the middle. Okay, there we go. Right. Yeah, yeah, the arcs. It's a like I always sort of you know, I was always a bit sort of off-put that they use this particular song to represent the arc in Shadow Generations, but then I realised, oh yeah, well they do use a bit of this in the Shadow the Hedgehog stage, so that's alright, that's okay. Also, hey Speed. That's cool. I think I consider that done. Obviously I'll go over it and like tidy up the line art and stuff a bit later on, but for the purpose of what I require, much like the time meter, that's fine. It's fine. Separate this a little bit. Cool. So I've got the 4 cannon revenants done. I've just got left these 2, so the revenants for Lumina and Void Toss. This is Ifrit from Sonic Rivals 2, but in Expanse, I do tie it to Iblis, much like I tie the Time Eater to Mephiles. So yeah, I consider that after the events of Sonic 06, those 2 essentially died, and their lingering remnant essences became new entities. So the Time Eater and the Ifrit. And that's the same logic I applied to the Star Drainer and Mother Wisp. They are the remnant energies of some newer gods that I create, which are Tartarus and Stella. Actually, yeah. The jellyfish and the starfish. And then, yeah, likewise, I've done the same for Dark Gaia and Light Gaia and Lumina and Void, which I'll be working on next. So this one is the Wishmaker, little fairy butterfly thing. At least with these original ones, I can sort of make it up as I go. I don't have to keep flitting back and forth between different references. Yeah, that's something that's, well, that was always something that I did, like even before I fully established the whole fracture deity hierarchy. I originally made them both butterfly and moth without consideration for like a sort of theme, but as I sort of developed them more as a group, I started doing more thinking with regards to the animal theming per fracture pair. So Lumina and Void, they're of course insects. These, I'll go up to these ones. Mephiles and Iblis are originally more mammalian in nature, but I decided that given Solaris has this whole eagle theming, that it did make sense to make them birds. So I've made Iblis a swan, kind of in reference to Elise's swan theming, and Mephiles is an owl because owls have a, you know, heavy connection to the concept of time, so they fit pretty perfectly. Tartarus and Stella, they're of course perfect as well with regards to their animal theming. They represent marine creatures. So Tartarus is a starfish because obviously Doom's Eye has this whole starfish thing, and Stella is a jellyfish because of Mother Wisp being this jellyfish creature. So those three work perfectly in that regard. There's a bit of a different sort of thing going on with Gaia's forms because they represent terrestrial creatures, so animals that live on the ground. So Durga is supposed to be a serpent, so like a snake, and Chihaya is a shepherd creature, so a dog. But after the fact, I've sort of introduced this aspect in Expanse lore where Dark Gaia in particular has had her animal totem transformed because during this event where Solaris and Argus kill each other, Gaia is in the situation where she's being coiled by Ashura, or the End in this regard. And during that whole process, the End is trying to merge with Gaia, but when that process is stilted, one of her halves is corrupted. So that's why, actually, I suppose I should pull up the End. 1 second. Bear with me. I don't have it here. I'll pull it up here instead. Oh yeah, anyways, yeah. So this is Ashura, who is like the main villain of Sonic Expanse, but it's also the identity of the End from Sonic Frontiers. So this is like a giant rock snake thing. So it sort of curls up into a ball to make up the moon shape. Anyways, in this early story, which sort of sets the stage for the earliest historical point in Expanse, Gaia is coiled by Ashura, and Ashura is trying to merge with Gaia, but the process is interrupted by Solaris, and as a result, Gaia splinters into her two halves, Dark Gaia and Light Gaia. But Dark Gaia, who represents the conscious aspect of Gaia, is corrupted, and it takes on more of a snake-like form, much like Ashura. Yeah, so, but I had in mind, like, of course I'll keep her as a serpent for the nature of this more canonized setup, but I had in mind that prior to Ashura's corruption, she was probably more of a feline creature, so probably like a lion or a tiger, just to sort of contrast Chihaya, who is a dog, or Chip rather. But yeah, that's the whole animal setup between the four fractures, so insects, birds, marine creatures, and land creatures. And of course, those animal themings carry over into the revenant form. So you got the snake, the dog, starfish, jellyfish. I interpret this as an owl, so, and then I interpret that as a swan, and then of course these two are a butterfly and a moth. But yeah, that's big long-winded spiel about how these things work. Hey Diggs, welcome. Yeah. And I mean, when I look at this, it definitely looks very owl-like, especially with the protruding horns. It's like, wow, it's very owl-like. So that's what carries over into Mephiles' Merbian form. But yeah, that's something I sort of loosely apply between the Revenants and the Avatars / Merbians. I carry over elements that are sort of more reminiscent of the Revenant design. So Durga's got this whole fluffy mane thing that Globe Splitter's got going on. Chihaya's got a bit of the armor plating from golems, rock exterior. Then you've got these who carry over elements from Star Drainer and Mother Wisp. And then Mephiles and Iblis obviously draw more from Time Eater and Ifrit as opposed to Mephiles and Iblis themselves. That's a little bit complicated. A lot of my stuff's like scattered across pretty much my whole DA gallery, but I do have a pretty comprehensive 70-page timeline if you'd like to read that. It's mostly just got everything detailed point by point throughout the entire, from the beginning of history up until the present day point that I've got in mind. So that pretty much covers the entire, well, it covers the bases of pretty much every canon aspect, and then has my additions built up around it. So I could link you that timeline, and like I said, it's like 70 pages long, so it's going to be quite the read. But that's probably a good reference point, because at that point, when you sort of read through it and come across different subjects, a lot of the time I probably have something drawn up for it. Then you can look it up on DeviantArt to try, well, you can always just ask, because in my server I've got a question and answers channel that you can probe a little bit for, but yeah, unfortunately a lot of my stuff's scattered. I should try to, I was using a thing a little while back called Obsidian to try and categorize all my stuff, but this is way too much way too much to do. But yeah, it's just something I do on my own in my own time. And like the question and answers channel that I have in my servers actually would be worth having a probe through, because there's like a lot of interesting questions that people come up with, and when I get those questions, I'm able to think on the spot, you know, my different ideas for how I would apply things. And a lot of the ideas pretty much stay consistent, which is pretty good. And I don't make wild changes often. Like preceding like game releases, I always anticipate that after the fact I'm gonna have to change a lot, but thankfully, like, I've survived Forces, I've survived Frontiers, I've survived Superstars, I've survived Dream Team, and I've survived Shadow Generations without having to change a great deal, which is a big relief. Like, part of me is like, oh, I kind of wish they would do something that was so crazy that would shake up my entire lore, but at the same time, I'm happy happy to maintain what I've been doing all this time. I need reading material right now. Yeah, I'll link it to you right now. Sorry, I haven't been keeping up with DMs lately, so I will answer your other stuff later. But here is, yeah, that's the timeline. Anyways, ever thought of using Milanote? I've never heard of it before. What is Milanote? But yeah, I've got a bit more, well, I will be a little bit busier, probably in the coming week, because something that's been keeping me busy lately is the event I've been running for Sonic Club. So as of yesterday, the event came to an end. Still waiting for a couple of people to complete their entries, but I've got the collage set up for, and I'm going to be working on a background for it. So I'll focus on that, and then once that's out of the way, I've got a bit of time to sort of catch up on things. As of January, though, I'll be hosting another event for Sonic Club. It'll be a Minecraft / Terraria inspired thing. Still got to work out the ground rules for it, but it'll be a lot of fun. Very different to the other events I've helped run so far. The other node is essentially a mood board, for lack of a better word, that lets you include written word and pictures. It's very comprehensive. It's what we're going to be using for the blue streak bubble. Oh, okay, so you're going to be... Okay, cool. For blue streak as well. Okay. Well, I'd be interested to see how... Have you guys started using it already, or have you got something to show? Because I might be interested in taking a look to see how it would look in use. But yeah, I've tried doing a lot of things in the past. Like I've tried using Toy House, but I have no HTML coding knowledge, so that's not useful for me. Obsidian, it's okay. Just requires a little bit of work. Not really sure about public sharing of it though, so it's probably not very useful for the sake of what I want to portray. I'd like to, like with the timeline that I've linked you, I'd kind of like to try and do something a bit more visual instead of just lumping pictures along the side. But yeah, I don't know. I'll figure something out eventually. Something actually, that's something I'd like to try doing one day. Maybe making a video, like having a video with pictures. Well, actually, maybe a series of videos because it is quite long, and then compile them all together afterwards. But just creating like small pictures just to show each period of time bit by bit. Because that is a big fundamental aspect of Expanse, just information dumping. But yeah, that might be worth looking into one day. I don't know if I'll do voiceover or anything, but I wouldn't mind it. Just need the time for it, really. Yeah. We're included a little bit, yeah. They have some templates in case you're not sure where to start. I'll send you the link. Okay, sure, thank you. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of these designs are really fun, like the more original character designs, so like these ones and these ones. They're very cool, and actually I was going to say that they don't really have much canon function with my stuff, because a lot of these deities don't end up this way, but I will be utilizing them in like alternate timelines and stuff that I have in mind. So even though like I'm not going to be using them for my mainline stuff, they will have importance, so they're still really fun to put together. But with Elder Golem does make a brief appearance. I have him in mind to appear during the events of Sonic Lost World. I have a story in mind focused on Shadow's perspective while Sonic's doing his thing on Lost Hex. While the extract was happening, it's like draining the planet's life force. Chihaya, who's still slumbering, is sort of experiencing death, and that's when his revenant form comes to manifestation, and Shadow has to help deal with that. during that time, Dark Gaia has prematurely awakened, so she appears in her totem form, much like Chip Chihaya does during Sonic Unleashed, so she will be aiding Shadow during that point in time. Yeah, fun little thing. Yeah, these will be all the Neo Architect timelines. Yeah. They all these actually, yeah. As in regards to the Neo Architect timelines, they all function in rotation. So that means that pretty much all these designs will at least make an appearance in some form, except for the Avatar form, because the Avatar form doesn't even appear in mainline canon. This is just more for fun than anything else. But all of these other forms, they will appear in those worlds. So that'll be fun. Actually, that's something I want to do. Actually, similar to how I've done like a simple sort of chart thing for showing off my Black Arm stuff. I'd like to do like some low effort charts to describe some other ideas that I have in mind, because yeah, I have a lot of ideas, but not enough time to draw like comprehensive things for it. But doing simple things like this would be a lot of fun, just to visually illustrate my ideas. Yeah, I'll process that one up soon, because I was, just before I started streaming, I was doing a huge write-up detailing the 4 points. So I've got point 1, point 2, point 3, and point 4. These are pretty much all 4 separate ideas that I've had over time, but I've sort of tied them all together, so you can have a look at the overall landscape of the ideas I have for the Black Arms in Sonic Expanse. Very outlandish compared to a lot of other ideas I've seen around, but it's all a lot of fun. To be fair, the Avatar forms could work as disguises and anything for the fragments. True. Yeah, that's a good point, because yeah, that's something I have considered. The fact that with a little bit more energy, they could manifest at this. So with regards Chihaya in Sonic Unleashed, when he appears as Chip, I had in mind that he probably could have become, you know, the Avatar form of Chihaya, but he obviously he awoke prematurely, so he was, you know, appeared in a more feeble form. Yeah, it's they will have, actually, especially these two, they have a bit more relevance in some of my more mainline stuff. Well, not main timeline, but mainline relevant. Talk more on that later. Still happy about the fact that Shadow is 10% Chao. True, yeah. Well, I mean, he does have a strong connection to Chaos Energy, so it's kind of a given. It's a fun little thing. The precursors are pretty much biologically identical to the Ancients. They've just sort of schismed off into their own civilization. But yeah, in biological makeup they are essentially the same thing, but they get absorbed and reconstituted as the Black Arms. Yeah, I'll process up later. Eighth cousin of Sonic. Okay, no. Oh, thank you. Yeah, a bit complicated because, like, I was mentioning before how there's not really any good references of the Ifrit because a lot of them are like low res screenshots or renders that don't really show the body clearly. So I've kind of had to take a lot of liberties, I reckon. But yeah, as long as it looks enough like the Ifrit, then I'm satisfied. Yeah, same. The big one will be when I get around to doing the Titans, because... Oh, actually, I'm excited to do the nega forms of the Revenants. They will be very fun to do, I reckon. I'm very excited about Nega Time Eater. And, yeah, it's actually a really fun exercise, because, like, you know, I actually really appreciate monster design. Yes, yeah, that's what I was going to say before I got distracted. The Titans, and then the Perfect Titans, they are even bigger than these ones. They're going to be a bit more work. I'm sort of... well, actually, I reckon most of these will be fine, but I'm kind of stun-locked at Chihaya because I really don't want to draw the Gaia Colossus. It's just all the architecture and stuff on it, especially since it's also asymmetrical. So I've got it sketched out symmetrically right now, but it's got a bigger shoulder on the right side, and yeah, a lot to do there. Like I barely managed to do the the asymmetrical gears on Time Eater, so yeah, the Titans are going to be the most important, I reckon, because I've mentioned several times that they lay the foundation for the other forms as physical traits, but yeah, I'll get to them eventually. Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, yeah, true. Because I did in my server, I asked around to say, you know, which one should I focus on? A lot of people said they wanted to see Chihaya or Voidos, so I've decided I was going to focus on them, but I might have to leave Chihaya's Titan, and at least just a Titan for last, because it is going to throw my flow off a little bit. But as it is right now, I've sort of got distracted from focusing on individual characters and doing just by form again, especially with the Revenants. But I think when I start doing the these two in particular, the Restrained Titans and the Wraiths, I will go by character. Just because I don't really have a sort of clear idea what's going on. I've got the designs out, but when I did Dirk here, from the initial sketch I had of her, she changed quite a bit. Like, I've got a lot of extra details there that weren't originally in the design sketch. I anticipate the rest are going to be the same as well. Hmm. Okay. Good. I like it. Very cute. Which route do you find this on? Good question. Actually, that's actually a good question. Let me just double check that one for me. 1 second. I've actually got a document where I've detailed which timelines in particular these forms and designs that don't appear in mainline canon to appear. So let's see, which one's this one? Wishmaker. This one appears in the timeline where Solaris is killed in the inception of history. And instead of Black Doom and Mother Wisp being present in the world, Time Eater and Ifrit are present in the world from the beginning instead of after the events of Sonic 06. And in this particular timeline, Lumina and Void are in place of Mephiles and Iblis in the events of Sonic 06. And as a result, after the events of that particular scenario, when they inevitably perish, Wishmaker appears in place of the Time Eater. Yeah, I should remember that actually from the top of my head. Okay, very cute. Right. That's good. Do something about my webcam, it's very jerky. Oh, fine. I'm to get the colors, which oh, actually. Wow, you look very different. Oh well. of what I'm trying to do there. Gonna keep it more purple-esque. Yeah, why not? I'll just maintain the colors that I've got for now and then change them as I go along. Oh. Oh, whoops. Pattern shapes are great. Thank you. Well, with it, I'm assuming you mean the Canon Titans. I only designed 2 of these technically. So the Light Argus, which is like the original form that Mother Wisp came from, and Light Illumina. So I've made the design highly derivative of Void's monster form. Oh yeah, it's fun. Dogs of Expanse, yeah. Hi, Sherlock, welcome. Actually, I might try to... It's new. Yeah, looks good. I like it. Okay, that's Wishmaker. So a big idea that I have in mind for the there's a bit of a system that goes on with the particular revenants. So you'll notice that the names are kind of mixed, divided up between them. I'll explain in a second. I'll see here. So, for those not aware, I've got a specific setup with regards to fracture pairs, that they come in pairs, but each of them represents a different aspect of the primordial that they come from. So, for the ones that we're aware of, you've got Lumina and Void, which are the two aspects of Illumina. But since Lumina has more in common with Illumina, she represents the more mental aspect of the duality. So she represents Illumina's personality, her mind. She's the mind aspect, whereas Void is the raw godly power of the primordial, more manifest. So the power aspect of the pairs are stronger generally, whereas the former is always more, is able to think on more of a level comparable to the primordial that they come from. So likewise, Mephiles is the mind aspect of Solaris. He represents more of the conscious identity of Solaris himself, whereas Iblis is the raw power. And then you've got Light Gaia and Dark Gaia. A bit of a shift in these ones because of certain circumstances, but Dark Gaia represents the consciousness of Gaia itself, and then Chahaya is stronger than Dark Gaia and represents the power aspect. So Gaia, Durga is... one second. Primordial. I'll pull up the references of the primordials themselves. So this is what I'll be working on after I finish the fractured cheat, because the primordials themselves also have a wide variety of forms that they deal with. So you got Solaris's form, and then Argus from Sonic Chronicles, and yeah, they're a whole thing as well. Anyways, the primordials as they appear more natively, so based on Illumina from Sonic Shuffle, and Solaris is based on the statues from Sonic 06 in Dusty Desert. The other two also have designs more similarly aligned. But yeah, Gaia is the original primordial, and Durga is the conscious aspect of her personality. And then a bit more work is involved with Argus. Argus is a god from Sonic Chronicles. He is retroactively established as the progenitor of Black Doom and Mother Wisp. And these two are the dead aspects of the original entities, who are Tartarus and Stella. And yeah, they are the fourth set. What was I saying? Oh yeah, anyways, as I was saying, so between them there's always a mind and power aspect between the pairs. But in the case of the Revenants, they have different divisions. So the mind aspects, so you've got Wishmaker, who is Lumina, Time Eater, who is Mephiles, Star Drainer, who is Tartarus, who is also Black Doom, and Globe Splitter, who is Durga, Dark Gaia. Those four in particular, they have a very unique naming scheme. So they have noun/verb. So what happens here is the concept that the primordial that they represent comes from. Lumina governs over dreams, Solaris governs over time, Argus governs over space, and Durga governs over planets. The Revenants, they have a system where they have an action tied to them that is in opposition to their original function. So, Globe Splitter destroys worlds, Star Drainer, absorbs planetary bodies, Time Eater destroys time, and then Wishmaker, pretty much brings dreams to reality in opposition to simply observing, as Illumina does. So that's where those 4 in particular have a particular setup, whereas the other 4, which are Elder Golem, Mother Wisp, Founder Ifrit, and Keeper Bogey, they are just pretty much just raw energy forces. So you got Ifrit, who is like resident within the Chaotic Inferno and dimension, and Mother Wisp, who is steeped in Hypergoan energy. Elder Golem is the raw energy of the planet, so that's something that you see in Sonic Lost World, and this is where this particular design does appear at that point in time in my stories. And then Keeper Bogey is like a dream spectre sort of thing. But yeah, their naming schemes are authoritative titles slash creature name, I guess. So you got Bogies based on the Boogeyman, Ifrit, you know, the Djinn creature, Wisp, Will-O-Wisp, and then Golem for, obviously, it's a Golem. Yeah, they're very, very structured in regards to my ideas for how those things work. Right, this is the last one of the initial Revenant set. This one should be interesting actually, because I don't really know what I'm doing here. Like even in the original sketch that I did of Keeper Bogey, it's sort of a bit confusing. It only works like I have drawn a side view of it before, but from a front angle it's kind of not entirely clear, so I'm going to try to give it a bit of structure while still just maintaining this. Something that I established with the Revenants is physically they are pieces of the original Titans that have sort of developed their own physical form. So, I'll explain in a second. What's the track here? I'm going to try and do it this way. Anyways, as I was saying, so in particular with this particular design, I've had it so that it looks like it could be a transformation of the Titan form. So you've got this strange shape here for Void's monster form, but the idea of the Keeper Bogey is that it's like a twisted version of it, so you got the head that's sort of flipped upside down, and it's sort of sprouted wings and stuff. So the exterior, the armor casing has been shifted and morphed. With regards to the other ones, Wishmaker is as if the armor here is broken off, and then this thing's what's inside. Same too with Mephiles and Iblis. So the Mephiles' Titan form is actually convenient because you could feasibly see the Time Eater coming from this, especially with the whole horn setup and the torso system. Yeah, and same with Iblis and Ifrit, they've got the same sort of horn setup with their head. These two, well, obviously I've got Devil Doom as the physical representation of the original entity that Star Drainer came from, because I have in mind that as Star Drainer sort of attaches to its host, it sort of manifests its more original form through them. And then I've got something here that's meant to be the original form of Stella, Mother Wisp. This makes a little bit more sense with the perfect form. So, perfect light Argus, and the head is like the Nega Wisp armor, but like as an actual entity. So I have in mind to retroactively explain that the Nega Wisp armor is based on this design, and then the initial phase Titan's like just a simplification of the perfect phase. And then yeah, of course with Dark Gaia and Light Gaia, Globe Splitter, it's something that comes from the crest of Dark Gaia, so this part here. And then Elder Golem is like, so since Light Gaia's got just full rock body, Elder Golem sort of manifests in a similar form except just smaller pieces. So it's as if it's just a chest piece that's sort of broken off and become its own thing. No. Just keep it as is. No worries, Evie. Thanks for popping by. Have a nice, whatever time of day it is for you as well. That looks well enough. Right. Ow. Perfectly mirrored. How does one side fail and then doesn't? Now. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, Mycroft. Welcome. Yeah, it's fun. Like, even though I know it's probably gonna people are gonna tune out, it's still fun for me. I like to review my streams afterwards and sort of see how clearly I'm able to sort of explain my ideas, because that way it becomes more reinforced to me that they make sense to me. So if they make sense to me, then it should be fine, as long as I can explain myself clearly. That's what I might do, actually. Oh, I think that looks fine. Right, that's all the evidence done. For now. I'll probably tweak the designs a little bit more, but at this stage I'm pretty happy with how they look, I think, just from a quick scope. Yeah, cool. What do I feel like doing now, actually? Need a second to think. Maybe. The requirement for doing the Neo Architects was that I needed the revenants done, so I guess now that the revenants are done, I could probably brush over those designs. I need to update this scale chart one eventually. Let me just pull up the Neo Architects and see where they're at. Here they are. Flatten this image. These guys are going to get a substantial overhaul. Oh, not too big of an overhaul, but just enough to get them more in line with my current design standards. There we go. Okay. I'll wait for it to load because the file is so big. Right, okay. Gather these together. Get you guys down here. What I'll actually also do is I'll get these on hand as references as well, so I can carry over some traits. It's been 2 hours, jeez. I'll probably stream for another couple of hours. Don't have much going on today, so that'll be good. I'll get a bit done today. Right, okay, so I guess I could run through these again. These guys are the Neo-Architects. These are the project shadows from different timelines that act as a second season worth of characters for Subliminal's Shadowverse project. So, these are heavily outdated designs, but that's his main cast. But mine are introducing the second season type scenario where they're a set of villains that are targeting Shadow and Proj. Proj being my pink echidna girl, who is like the Project Shadow of an alternate timeline where Gerald created Project Shadow with Mother Wisp's DNA instead of Black Doom's. So the idea for the Neo-Architects is they are Project Shadows created from other worlds where they were created from the other 6 Revenant creatures. So Sugar is based on Globe Splitter, who is the Revenant of Dark Gaia. Stones is the Revenant of... based on Elder Golem, who is the Revenant of Light Gaia. And then so on and so forth. So Echo for Time Eater, Arson for Ifrit, Mycella for Wishmaker, and Not for Keeper Bogey. So, the idea that I wanted to do today is, now that I've finally got the Revenants done, I can start to brush over their designs, because a lot of my design idea has changed over time. So what I might start with is... oh yeah, I'll just base it off this. I'll draw Shadow and Proj real quick, because they look very reminiscent of Tartarus and Stella. So just bear with me. Get myself together. And then likewise, I want to try to incorporate elements of the other avatar forms into the Neo-Architects, as well as reconciling them with the Revenant designs. So, bear with me. Right. So I'm just going to draw Shadow real quick. Dense Proj is a shadow version of Mother Wisp. Okay, did there any other extra thoughts applied to that? That'll be the benchmark for what I'm doing. I don't really care too much about no more. I'll try to keep my style more accurate, but it's fine. So I'm gonna draw Proj real quick, but then I won't rely on these afterwards because I just want to draw them, design the others as is. But alright. That's what I'm missing. Now that crest really makes a difference for design. Right. So these two are sketched out. Now I'm going to start from scratch with all these. Well, not scratch, but like... I'll be drawing them from scratch. Right, so the idea for the particular species for these guys, so in the same way Shadow looks a lot like Sonic in his universe, where Sonic is the main character. Oh yeah, I'll deviate where needed, but I'm gonna keep the general look of them because I do like how they look, and it's just I'm gonna be tweaking a lot of particular details. Anyways, where Sonic is the main character of the timeline where Shadow exists, Knuckles is the main character of the timeline where Proj exists, and in a like manner, each of the characters, well, species that are represented here are based on a different character in the series. So, Sugar comes from a timeline where Cream is the focus character, Stones comes from a timeline where Styx is a focus character, Echo comes from a world where Whisper is a focus character, Arsene for Blaze, Mycella for Rouge, and Not for Tangle. Now, other ones that exist from Subliminal's original cast setup. So you got Tails, Jet, Mighty, Espio, Vector, and Charmy. Again, these designs are outdated. I don't keep the updated ones on hand, but yeah. So that's kind of the focus for what I'm doing. I'm gonna reconcile different aspects. So I'm gonna be reconciling the original character that they're the rival of, reconciling the Revenant design that they are created from, and reconciling some design traits from the avatar that the Revenant originates from. So, a lot of different points to consider, but should be no big deal. I'll do that for the next hour and a half. Let's start with Sugar. Now, I drag him. Oh yeah, and yeah, Subliminal's the one who originally helped me with these designs. So let me see if I can pull up the originals. Here we go. Yep, so he helped me design the original mock-ups here, and then when I did my first redraw of them, I did my tweaks at that point, so you can see some substantial differences between then the original mock-up and the ones that I finalized with. But the ones that I'll be doing now will be again tweaked from these. So yeah, and of course you can see Proj and Shadow here as represented by their Revenants. So with Shadow, he doesn't look a great deal like Star Drainer, or Black Doom rather, but I do introduce a form later on where he incorporates elements from you know, the Starfish motif, especially with the line work and the markings. Yeah, exciting stuff. Alright, another thing I wanted to do as well with these is considering more the technological aspect of their what they have on hand. So the same way that Shadow in particular has the inhibitor rings and the air shoes as a focal aspect of his design element, like in his creation. I'm going to put a bit more special focus on the technological aspects on these particular characters. So Praj I've already sort of accounted for, because she doesn't have the same sort of limiter aspect. She's got a different set of limiters on her wrists and ankles, but her shoes are still derivative of the air shoe technology, except placed on a more familiar sort of shoe setup, since her clothing is modelled after Maria's. But I do have in mind that she doesn't use the air shoes in the same manner as Shadow does, so I'll try to mix things up in that regard for the other characters as well. I need to design them in a way where it looks like a 12-year-old could design them. The same way that Maria designed Shadow's air shoes in Gerald's journal. You know what, I might just keep the same height setup. Yes, this is the Near Architects. So now that I've finished the Revenants, they were the one barrier preventing me from finally redesigning them. I gave a big spiel while you were away, just explaining what I'm doing, but basically I'm going to be reconciling the different aspects of their designs. So I'll be updating the existing designs that I had of them, but also reconciling them with the updates I've made to the respective Revenant designs, and also going to keeping in mind drawing in elements from the avatar forms of the original entities that the Revenants come from. And also bearing in mind elements from each character that they're a rival to, as well as making considerations for the technological aspects of their designs, so what sort of apparel they carry, and making them so that they look like a 12-year-old could design them, since Maria designed Shadow's hair shoes. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be updating them and just seeing how I go with it. But yeah, this time I'm going to be including Shadow and Proj into the hierarchy as well, so that I can, navigate their designs alright. That sounds funny, actually. Jerk idea, the Near Architects from Lumina Void end up having butterfly moth themed rings like the ones from the 2010s OCs. Yeah, why not? I appreciate the aesthetic. a bit more substantial than I thought. Yes, that's correct. I'm doing the Neo Architect design, 3 designs. So the Neo Architects are the project shadows created from the Revenants. I finished the updated Revenant designs earlier, so now that that barrier has been cleared up, I can finally start doing these. And included these two as well. The last song. What was the last song? Oh. Yeah, I can hear it. You guys have to listen to Sky Troops again. Oh. These are actually looking at a lot more substantially different compared to what I thought they would. Right. Yeah, feeling good about them. I like them. Yeah, I quite like them actually. Definitely will tweak them more as I add the colours and do the refined line art, but I think they meet the requirement of what I was trying to go for. Yeah, I think I like how they look. Yeah, I'll probably work on the rest of these, maybe off stream, depending on how much time I get, but yeah, quite like how they look. I'll line them up and add the collars, as well as just tweaking some details here and there, but yeah, I like them. I'll draw some proper renderings of them a bit later on, but yeah. Thank you. I'll probably end it there in a few minutes. Just having a last look over them. Yeah. That's fine, DP. Good to hear everybody's working hard. Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely satisfied with how they look. I'll probably end it there now. Thanks everyone for popping in and sticking around. Pretty productive today. Got all that done, so yeah, no, it's good. Thank you once again. I'll see you guys next time I stream. Alright, goodbye.